Hey there, the third week of InCoWriMo was a success. If you're not familiar with what that is, I'm basically just writing one letter a day for the month of February. Let's just jump right into it. Day 11's letter is for Mimi. I wanted to include some of this textured handmade paper for her, as well as this black and gold marble jute paper. I love this. It's so gorgeous. I also wanted to give her a couple of pieces of regular handmade paper, and I also did like some screen printing of some flowers a while ago on some handmade paper as well. So I wanted to include that for her. I'm also giving her a couple of stickers. I don't know, I'm really leaning into this black and gold theme, and I'm kind of getting like space vibes, like galaxy vibes from this, so I really wanted to lean into that. So sticking with some of those space vibes, I wanted to take the vellum and stamp it with my moon stamp, just to kind of create something that she can use, in her journals and her pen pal letters. So I've been learning calligraphy for the past year and a half now, and I recently found my notebook that has all of my practice calligraphy quotes from when I first started trying to learn calligraphy, and it's not my best work, but some of this is not terrible. Some of these were actually pretty good, and I thought that I would start, finding some and maybe cutting out some of the better ones to include in my my pen pal letters. And I found this one that I thought would just be perfect for this one, especially since I'm going with like a moon space theme. This one says, "Be the moon and inspire people even when you are far from full." And I just thought this was so cute. It's a good quote, but it just fits this entire theme of this package perfectly. So taking my gold pen, I'm just drawing some like zodiac constellations and then just making some dots for stars and drawing little stars and sparkles all over the black piece of paper. For the actual letter, I'm going to use this brown piece of paper here, and I'm going to attach it to the black paper with a wax seal. I think this is going to look so good. I just pulled out all of the gold wax, or like yellowish goldish wax, that I could find for this seal. So as I mentioned, this letter is for Mimi. I really wanted to do something really special for her. She reached out to me a little while ago, and her message was just so sweet and kind, and that's why I just wanted to do something really special for her. So for this letter, I don't know why black and gold was just calling for me, but it just was, and I really wanted to make something special. So I'm going to use some like imitation gold flakes to do an M on the front of this black piece of paper, and I'm just going to use the tape to try to shape the M shape of it. It came out all right. I think it definitely could have been better, but I actually wasn't super mad at it. I kind of like it. And because I just love using this gold, I'm going to add some gold to the top edge here as well. I really just love how this came out, and I really hope Mimi likes it. Like I mentioned, her message was just so sweet and so kind, so I'm hoping she loves this letter. And lastly, I'm just finishing it off with this honey colored velvet ribbon that I absolutely love. And with that, day 11 is done. Day 12 is going to be a little bit different. So my mother-in-law's birthday is later this month, and I wanted to make her birthday card so we can get it in the mail, so she'll have it just in time for her birthday. So taking inspiration from this giant tag that I got in a stationery pack I ordered a couple of weeks ago, I'm taking a couple of quick measurements so I can make my layout for the card. So I cut out the tag in this light pale pink color, and then I cut out a slightly smaller one in a light pale purple color, and then I also cut out a vellum tag the same size as the pink one. To give this just a little bit more dimension and interest, I'm just going to tape the purple one on top of the pink one. I did a quick layout of the words happy birthday on the vellum, and then I'm just going to take my pointed pen and ink it in. I'm adding these gold floral stickers just to add an extra, just an extra touch of design or something. After I finish writing the note on the inside, I'm just lining everything up and using just a small piece of washi to keep everything in place, because I wanted to use my eyelet grommet pliers to punch a hole in this so I can keep everything together with this gold eyelet. For the final touch, I'm adding this pink velvet ribbon to tie everything together. I love how this came out. It's so cute. And with that, day 12 is done. Day 13's letter is for Rhonda, who is actually very familiar with InCoWriMo. She's been doing InCoWriMo for the last 4 years and looks forward to it every single year. She likes dogs, crochet, music, and reading. So I really try to lean heavily into her interest for this letter. I'm giving her some cool textured paper again because I just absolutely love this paper. I'm also doing a book page for the letter, and it took a minute to try to figure out how best to do this, but I think we got there. I'm also giving her some of this sheet music paper and some cute dog stickers. Since she likes reading, I wanted to send her a few book recommendations, so I printed out the book covers and wrote a little bit about each book on the back of the covers, similar to what I did for Jennifer for day 9. But this time I'm recommending a few different books. Similar to Jennifer, I don't really know what Rhonda likes to read, so I kind of just tried to give her a variety. For the letter, I wanted to lean into the reading theme, so I'm taking this book page and this piece of vellum, and I just wanted to tear the vellum around the edges and add some gold foil to the edges. I'm breaking out this gold foil again. This foil is so messy, but I just love using it. It's so gorgeous. After I foiled the edges, I just went ahead and wrote the note. However, it just wasn't looking right because of course vellum is see-through, and when I put the vellum on top of the book page you couldn't really read what I wrote. So then I ended up sticking it to just a normal white piece of paper, and I cut around that and then taped that to the book page. So I think this came out okay. It just took some time to get there. And with that, day 13 is done. Of course, for day 14, Valentine's Day, I wanted to make a Valentine's Day card for my husband. So this honestly was a wild ride. I will save you. I will spare you, because the idea that I had, it just took a minute to get there. And it still didn't work out exactly how I wanted to. Okay, so the whole idea is a message in a bottle. And then the messages that I was going to drop in the bottle, I was going to have it to where he could take them out and actually read them. That didn't really happen, so I had to kind of change my plan around. Anyway, so I started out by sketching the bottle on this vellum paper, and I just cut it out. I also cut out the cork for the bottle on just a regular piece of brown paper. So for the actual messages in the bottle, I'm just cutting out little strips of this white paper here, and I'm writing things on them like, I love you, be mine, M loves A, things like that. And then I'm trying to actually slip them into the little pocket that I made. You can even see this little half circle cut out, because technically I wanted it to be a pocket where you can actually open it and take the things out, but it just wasn't happening. So we're just gonna keep moving forward. Ah, where did it go? Oh no. Oh my god, no. Oh my gosh, what the heck? No, oh no, we're gonna lose it. Oh. No! Come back here. Oh no! No, not another one! Get back here. Oh my god. See, I should have just left it alone. You see how much of a struggle that was? It was absolutely ridiculous. So lastly, I'm just finishing this off by writing, will you be my Valentine? And to give you an update, he said yes, he would be my Valentine. But can you believe he actually then proceeded to try to take these messages out the bottle? I was like, no, those don't come out. Here is how the final product turned out, and with that concludes day 14. Day 15's letter was a little bit challenging for me. Marie was one of the people that wrote back saying that she was interested to receive a correspondence for this InCoWriMo challenge. And when I asked what her interest was, she was like, oh no, just surprise me, which at first I was super excited about. But after the last 2 weeks of writing to people and trying to personalize the letters based on what they liked, I was having a really hard time to try to make this letter personal because I had no information to go off of. So it was a little bit of a struggle for me. I kept it fairly simple, but I actually still really liked the way it turned out. So after taping the letter to the back of the card, I really wanted to use these dried flowers on the front of the card and then just personalize it by writing her name. I also wanted to use a wax seal because I just feel like this is gonna look so gorgeous with this rose gold. So I'm just pulling out my wax stick and using this flower seal to seal everything together. I'm also just going to bring in my gold marker to do some gold details just to make it a little bit more interesting. Next up, I'm just taking this handmade textured paper and a piece of vellum, and I'm writing the quote, "Grow and glow," in my green marker and this gold marker here. And then I'm just going to use my pliers to hold everything together with this gold eyelet. And then I'm going to bring in the last bit of this honey colored ribbon to tie everything together. I definitely need to get some more of this velvet ribbon. I'm also going to include a couple of these vintage stickers just to give her a little something extra. And that concludes day 15 of InCoWriMo. Day 16 was a lot different than the other days. For InCoWriMo, they basically want you to handwrite a letter a day. It can be a long letter, it can be a postcard, it can even be a post-it note, a quick thank you letter. As long as you handwrite and deliver or mail out one letter a day, it meets the challenge. So for day 16, I actually made a post-it note similar to this one for my coworker who just needed a little extra encouragement that day, and I posted it on their computer screen when I was in the office. This is actually the very first one I made, but I just wasn't liking how the colors turned out, so I wrote it again. This is essentially what it looked like, and I just made it for them and posted it on their screen just to have a little pick-me-up when they saw it when they came into the office. So that concludes day 16 of InCoWriMo. And lastly, day 17 is another birthday card, this time for my best friend Kaylin. Is anyone surprised that that I want to use this textured paper again? At this point, there's no surprise. I love this paper so much. I'm also going to cut out these black squares to tape to the front, and I'm going to write happy birthday in white ink on them. I loved doing the happy birthday, just kind of playing around with the shapes and the letters. I thought this looks really cute. After writing the birthday message to her, I just taped the paper down inside the card just to secure it. And then I really wanted to use this rose gold wax again with another seal because I think this is just gonna look so gorgeous. I really, really love how this came out. And lastly, I'm just finishing this up by writing her name on the outside of the envelope. And with that, the third week of InCoWriMo is done. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already so you can see how the last few days of InCoWriMo turn out. And if you haven't seen last week's video of InCoWriMo, I will be sure to link it right here on the left-hand side of the screen. Go check it out, and I will see you over there. As always, thanks so much for watching, friend. I really appreciate it. Bye.